Hello. Welcome. This is very spontaneous, and I just wanted to come on live to really connect and share some of my experiences this week, some of my understandings and lessons for myself personally. As we are wrapping up an 18-month cycle of the Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio, Taurus, axis. And yeah, it's been, how are you doing? I just spontaneously came on here because the energy's still really fresh and I didn't want to forget anything. I didn't have much sleep last night. But when I did finally get to sleep, when I woke up this morning, it seems as though we had a power outage here randomly, and I had been up at like 3, 4, maybe even 5 a.m. So it happened between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. But at the same time, my clocks were blinking on my stove and microwave and my phone. All of the apps were spinning, like something was updating and changing. And it's just been like one of those strange, relaxing, good. Yeah, I feel really calm and relaxed. It's just been like, what is actually happening energetically right now? Things are changing, I feel that, I sense that. But personally, I definitely had I was very aware of the actual life lessons that were wrapping up for me. And for me, it had to do with my own personal healthy boundaries when it comes to other people. And I have been working through this for the last 18 months of that whole cycle. And so very at the end, it just kind of came in like a torpedo, like a doozy. And it's hard, it's hard to sometimes let go of people that, you want to holding compassion is the most important thing, and understanding that everybody's on their own unique journey. But man, oh man, I know I'm not the only one who has been experiencing extreme and intense, dramatic projection of other people's pain. Like bleh, onto you. And if you're one that kind of gets caught in the crossfire, try not to take it personally, and definitely, remain calm and try not to judge, because there are a lot of people sort of spinning out in sort of a manic type state right now, unable to understand exactly why things are either not working for them or no, you're not alone, thank you. Yeah, it's been like, wow. One after the other too. Some I expected, not like I didn't have expectations, but it wasn't a shock. But others I just caught wind of, like neighbors and things like that. It's one of those things where wherever I went this week, there was some kind of explosive upheaval. But then as of yesterday, one was directed, aimed exactly at me. And, I was taken aback, but, not stunned. What I learned actually is that, having that be a repeat experience, different people, but same energy, this time around, the way I handled it and the way that it affected me was very different. So I got to really experience my own growth, and just that I know that I've healed a lot of things. because it doesn't affect me the same way that it used to. Yeah, it bounced right off of me. Exactly. Hold on one second. I gotta let my cat in. She seems to know whenever I'm going live. That, and then understanding that I think the letting go aspect of letting people go on their own path and to really go through their own healing journey is easier as well. I know. Did you hear her? She's like, it's time to eat. I'm hungry. So that's been a big one for me. And I've had some new experiences as well. For anybody that does live in my area, in Chester County, Pennsylvania area, or in nearby surrounding Philadelphia area, I am now doing personal one-on-one sessions, counseling and coaching sessions with people at Solace Farms Retreat. And that has been such a treat. It has been an amazing experience. I've had 2 sessions so far that have rebooked already, and it's just something that I'm really getting a lot out of it, and it seems as though the others are too. So that's a very big uptick and big change for me. I'm really enjoying that. So I got to experience, a little bit of the yin yang energy, especially yesterday, because after coming out of one of my sessions feeling really good about the day and how everything went, then I had all these explosive messages on my phone from somebody who just really wanted to project all of their pain out onto me and blame me. And it's just like I didn't even feel the need to defend myself or even really respond. I did respond in trying to help, but then I realized that there are some areas of life that I'm not meant to actually go any further in my attempts to help other people. And I'm picking up those signs and feeling and reading that and being able to really let go with love and compassion and not feel like, not feeling like something was done to me. You know what I mean? So I know that's a big experience for a lot of us in the collective right now. That people that are not really fully able to process their pain, these aren't the cards I want to read from, are having a difficult time. And hello, Granny Paula. If we had been that open door before and had too much of an open door policy when it comes to energy exchange and, we're getting a lesson, but also when we uphold our boundaries and stay true to ourselves, that's a big lesson to the others, because exactly, Patsy, that energy bounces off of us and goes right back to them. Just like the childhood saying, I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. If I'm not going to take it, if I'm not going to let it absorb, if I'm not going to let it stick to me, it's going to come right back to you. And so, unfortunately, that's how we learn, that hurt people. And when we are hurting, whenever we're trying to project our pain and blame somebody else, and words are spells. They are very potent. And a lot of the words that were used towards me have been potent and intense. And to just not take that and understand that the other person's going to be receiving that back from the universe, not from me. It's just like you always hurt yourself when you do those things, Where do we want to start with the reading? Because I do want to get a read in on this energy. How are you guys? Tell me what you guys are experiencing. Have you had any big realizations or experiences? I know that death has been big, the Scorpio energy. And this is part of, my mom actually had a neighbor take his life yesterday. There's been a lot of that happening on the collective. So people who are really, really struggling right now are super, super in a lot of pain. And that opening of that wound is really intense for a lot of people. So those of us who hold that light, it is almost like a moth to a flame. We attract people because they're like, I need your energy. But when we don't give them what they want, they turn on you and really, boom, you know, money blockages. Yes. Oh, that's another big one. Yeah. This has been a slow week of work for me. But I'm not going to be panicking about it. Saturn goes direct tomorrow and things are going to start to move again. Dealing with boundaries. You're dealing with boundaries too. Yeah, that was a big one for me. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And I got to see how far I've come from where I was 18 months ago in the same scenario, and have played it out in different dynamics as far as me taking things too personally or taking things to heart too much, other people's pain, and feeling like I can fix it or heal it for them, knowing better. But this is an old childhood pattern of mine. Yes, still. But awareness is the first step. You know, when we start to realize like, oh, there's a red flag, I don't have my healthy boundaries up. Because I didn't at first either. I was like, but let me see if I can give you some words of wisdom. And it just kept coming back to me even stronger, and pain. I'm like, okay, time to knock it off. Let's see here. I'm expecting money from 4 different sources and all delayed. Hopefully just a delay. Tired of giving myself and not getting the exchange. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yes, growth is there with the death of old roles. Yep. So yeah, it's it's incredible to witness on the world stage, yet alone in our own personal lives, how whether we're blocked, whether we're giving too much of our energy and time and not being paid for it, or we're giving too much of our energy and time and emotions, and we're getting shit on for it. These are lessons of ours too, of how are we going, putting ourselves first and making sure that we're not taken advantage of. Most beautiful woman I've seen in a long while. Oh, thank you. If you're talking about me. I don't know these days. You know, thank you for, you just reminded me of another, and I want to just put this out there with some of the experiences. I was talking with my mother about this earlier because she's worked in, as a nurse, and she's worked in the mental health arena. And so I've also had a good idea of different, and I don't like to categorize or diagnose, but I do know when somebody's brain chemistry or wiring is firing and wiring in a specific way, such as manic depressive or borderline. And I'm just going to use these words just to give you an idea. But the borderline personality, that seems to be an energy that I've attracted into my life a lot. And that always starts off with a lot of compliments and like, I love you, you're the best, and really like smoothing in. And then if you don't give them what it is that they really need and want from you, they turn on you, and suddenly you're like the most demonic, I think I was called demonic, horrific, liar, you're a terrible person. And yeah, so you understand. I was definitely dealing with somebody that was having a manic episode yesterday, and I did not know exactly how to handle it other than to just be there as the witness through this manic episode. And it was, oh, thank you. It was quite intense, and it was a learning thing for me, for sure, to not only understand and be in that situation where I felt hopeless. I felt helpless. Like, I cannot help this person. I can't help them out of whatever is in there. And I really tried to like get them to breathe and get them to like relax themselves, because their brain was like short circuiting. And I just was not getting anywhere. And then I realized, I'm like, I think this is a universal test for me right now in the biggest way. And it was, as well as just still being able to, because I used to take these things so personally, it was easy for me as a Scorpio to be like, you know what, screw you, goodbye, and like shut the door forever. And like never ever want to open that door to that energy again. And in this time, I very easily closed the door and closed the chapter. But this time I have compassion and love, and really do wish, I never wish harm on anybody, but I don't think there wasn't that anger there. I didn't take it personally like I had in the past. Much love and blessings to you also. Ashe. Absolutely relate. Yeah. So that was yesterday for me. Through some of my other interactions with people, I know that there are a lot of people still trying to figure out what they're going to do through their relationship dynamics that have been long-standing, such as marriages and long-term relationships. One is waking up to the truth of the distortion and the, misalignment there. And I don't know if it was just reading off of my energy or if this is collective, but it was like the person who is aware also feels bad and responsible for the other person who is not aware, who is causing the energy tension there. Well, the energy is the tension between the two is because the polarities are so, there's no alignment there anymore. But then when the person who realizes this is so misaligned and I'm giving all of my energy away, and I feel drained and depleted and hopeless and helpless, but at the same time I feel bad. It's that codependency. It's not putting yourself first, that's been really, really big this week, as from not just my experience, but from what I've witnessed in others. Taurus lovers, but strong fighting. Fighters, yes. Lovers, but strong fighters. Yep. Oh my goodness. So let's get a read on some of this energy. Like I said, this was like, I did not really plan this, but it was so spontaneous. I just got home and I felt so much of this energy still swirling around, and I wanted to mention like what I was picking up, what I've been feeling. On the flip side, there is that calm. There's a beautiful calmness that's going on. And for myself internally, where as much as the universe and other people will try to provoke me, it's not working. And I'm like, okay, I see the growth. I feel like I've definitely matured, and I get it. I see it. Just live your intellectual and beautiful goes beautiful together. I'm crowned in Santeria. I know. Love. But like I said, I woke up this morning. Now, I had been sleeping really well all week, except for the last 2 nights. The moon, I think, is still in Cancer, and that usually affects me. But I know I was also picking up on these karmic energies that are swirling around. Karma just meaning like we are wrapping up an 18-month cycle of lessons. These are ancestral patterns. This is patterns that we developed at a very young age, but they're also passed down to us from our parents from generation to generation to generation. And we repeat these things until we finally wake up, realize them, recognize them, and put in the work to really heal ourselves in those areas, heal our inner child parts, and understand that we are being tested. These are lessons, these are things to learn. So we don't carry them on into the future, and we don't pass them on to our children and their children. What's my sign? Scorpio. This is my month. So I really thrive in the Scorpio energy, but my goodness, it has been a deep dive and very emotional for many people. And like I said, I did not sleep well. Yeah, we work well together. 10 of Wands, first card out. Ooh, there we go. There's that burdened and heavy energy. It says, ambition is a good servant, but a bad master. I feel like Saturn is really giving us a lesson also. These are like two separate lessons. We have our Scorpio Taurus wrap up of that, the lunar nodes being in Scorpio and Taurus, but Saturn going direct tomorrow. And it's interesting because right now we're in a void of course moon. So the moon is not making any aspects to any planets or any energies. So it's kind of that voided sort of limbo where not a whole lot is going on right now. But in a few hours it will start to pick up again, and Saturn's going to start moving direct. And I'm excited to actually see what is going to be opening up from that transit, like from the planet of restrictions and boundaries and all the things that we're experiencing now. What's going to start to move? What's going to start to flow? So, ambition is a good servant, but a bad master. 10 of Wands. This is the time where many of us get to the point where it's like, I surrender. It's not I give up, but it is I surrender, universe. I cannot go in this manner any longer. There's been this driving force in me that kept pushing and pushing and pushing through these energies and these experiences, and it's just like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. This is not healthy for me. And it does have to get to that point a lot of times. We human beings are kind of stubborn when it comes to learning these things. And thank you guys for giving the thumbs up. There's been a very, it happens from time to time here on YouTube and other platforms. Like I said, I feel not just energetics, but I also feel the artificial intelligence moving and shaking and doing its thing also. There's been some strange things that have been going on. The algorithms within YouTube have turned again, and they really spit my channel in the shadows. So, and that's fine, I get it, but the more that we participate and that's not why I'm on here, but you know, to get it back into circulation again is really helpful. So thank you for that. We have the 3 of Swords, the blue bird, emotional storm. This also says freedom from strife. So, you know, as we are like constantly doing or working our asses off and not getting paid for it, or constantly trying to help somebody who's not helping themselves, or constantly opening ourselves up just to get, you know, shit on basically, that builds up and builds up and builds up to the point where it's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then then we have this emotional like storm that's brewing. But on the other side of that, after we go through these experiences a few times, we realize, you know what, I sense a pattern here and it must be mine, right? we can have freedom. The bluebird is also freedom from that which has caused us a lot of heavy emotions, you know? I love the bluebirds. You know, I swore I saw it. I don't know if it was one of those indigo birds, but on my bird feeder this morning, there was this, and it just caught in the corner of my eye, and it showed up and it flew away really fast, but it was very blue. It was just that color. It was beautiful. Really small. So yeah, for any of you who have kind of laid low from the emotional storms of others, just be aware that this is circulating through the collective. You saw a blue and white bird in New York. The cobalt blue car trucks out at my work route are catching my eye again. Yeah, there's something about this blue, cobalt blue. I've been seeing that too. Now that you mention that, I was just at, I went to Earth Speak, which is like a metaphysical spiritual shop around here, to get candles. And there was this bright blue stone that they had on those, you know, those platforms with like the little light that like lights up the crystals and stuff. It was so gorgeous. And I could not stop touching it and staring at it while I was standing in line. I feel it's an omen, Toa. Yes, everything. I feel everything's an omen. That's the other thing. There's a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of serendipity as well. There's beautiful energies there. We have the duality here. Tiger, King of Wands. Okay. Hanged Man at the bottom. So overall, collectively, we are sort of in the Hanged Man position, which is surrender. Surrendering, just not giving. Surrender is not giving up. Giving up is just putting yourself like, I quit, and then you go into stagnancy. Surrendering is, all right, what I am doing or my participation is actually causing me to be exhausted and it's not working out. So I'm going to stay positive on this path and wait for the universe to direct me, a sign, the omen, the next direction, the next step. Prophetic powers, facing darkness. So, and then there are others who are facing their darkness. The world is below that. Beautiful beginnings, sacred contracts, infinite possibilities. And you know, these sacred contracts, a lot of them, this is why I call it karmic also. We do have these contracts with certain people in our lives. They come into our lives, and I feel like for me, those who have actually really, can't see some comments. Is there a privacy mode? No, you know, that's weird. That's interesting you say that, Paula. Even if there was, I don't know how I would fix it. Comments, chat. Okay. Oh, you know what? Some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible. All messages are visible. Okay. I don't know. I did do a video on that, on the comments. Because I had somebody reach out. Oh, no, that's okay. I had somebody reach out and say, like, I just commented on the Leo reading, like a nice comment, and it got deleted, like, right away. And that's happened. That's happened to you before, Paula. It's happened to other people. And so I reach out to YouTube the only way I can, which is just electronically. I don't know if anybody even reads it or not. But it definitely is something to do with the robot, the bots, the computer system, and I'm not deleting anything. It's definitely YouTube, and I know that a lot of other things are changing within YouTube also, the ads and stuff like that. So back to the reading. We have the World, sacred contracts. Yeah. So we meet up with certain people in our lives at certain times of our lives when it's time. That's divine timing. to play out certain experiences that are contracted, that we are meant to learn and grow from. And a lot of times these people feel like, you feel like you've known them before. They feel like home. They feel like brother or sister, or even more than that. And then you go through the whole karmic cycle with them, which can be amazing, and it can also be very painful. It depends on where you are in your journey, really. But the more aware and awakened we are to the life lessons, the karmic the mirroring, and the more we're in alignment with ourselves, and we are staying true to ourselves at all times, the easier it gets, the better it gets. I was just saying to my mom, now it looks like there's nobody there. This is such a strange... I'm just going to keep talking. I was saying to my mom today, it was an interesting experience to have this, yet again, karmic experience with somebody that was very familiar to me, that had a lot of their pain projected onto me, and just everything was such a repeat cycle from my past. I was very aware of it. And to be very, very aware of what's happening versus when I wasn't aware and I was just like, what the hell is happening kind of thing, was such a big shift for me. Even like sensitivity, I wasn't emotionally feeling it. I wasn't even taking in the energy. It wasn't absorbing within me at all. And I know I sat this morning in meditation and I just asked, I said, so now that we got through that one, and I know it was different, do I have to keep doing these things over and over again? Or is there going to be a new experience? And from what I gathered, from what I received as far as answers was, this was the last one in that arena for me, in my codependency patterns, in my, giving too much and not having healthy boundaries patterns. Meditation is good, yes. Okay. And here we are talking about our relationships again. These cards are really reiterating everything I just said, which is kind of funny. But the Three of Cups, Nine of Wands is going against your best judgment, is not listening to your heart and soul and giving too much of yourself. This is a pattern. It's usually a pattern developed from the mother wound. And we can go into the mother-father wounds deeper in a separate video, because I really want to set us all up for understanding our core wounds and how they reenact themselves in our current lives. Because basically we are all wounded children walking on this earth in adult bodies. That is how I see it with us all. And we are, in our own unique ways, healing and growing and maturing from a lot of these things. But if you're still unconscious to a lot of the patterns and deeper core wounds that have developed these coping mechanisms and patterns within relationship, we're going to keep recycling and redoing and all that stuff all over again. So it's really important to understand your wounding patterns, and just like a little touch on the mother wound, especially so if you had a mother who was not able to reflect to you or to receive you emotionally, to give you emotional safety and reassurance, we carry a void. And this happens with most of us. There's a cord, there's an energetic cord that is tied to the mother, as well as the umbilical cord gets cut when we're born. But there's an energetic, emotional cord that if we're not fed the proper emotional support at a young, these core wounds start from birth to about age 8. We develop this feeling of emptiness inside. And it is like this void that we're carrying around inside of us. And we don't really know what to do with those emotions. So we find different patterns of behavior that help fill this void. Some of those patterns are addictions. So like addictions to sugar. Sugar is a great cover to the mother wound. But other things that give you that warm and fuzzy feeling or feeling okay. Some of those other patterns are people pleasing, needing to be accepted and liked and loved by others. If you're not getting it just naturally, organically, we develop certain ways of getting it through manipulation and through giving too much. Yeah, we are. Anxiety, no trust. Anxiety, yes, that void develops anxiety, no trust for life, no trust for people. That is a deep mother wound. When you don't feel wanted, you make yourself needed. Exactly. Bingo. Bingo. So that's a core mother wound that can be healed, and those patterns realized. And the way we heal it is we give to ourselves what we were not given when we were children. Now the father wound is a little bit different. The father wound, you may have had a father who was either absent a lot of the times or was just emotionally absent, or something like that. And that is where we develop the need to control and the need to carry the weight of life. And we end up attracting people into our lives that we need to like do stuff for them too. So the wounded masculine energy is just exhausted, is super tired of like doing things for everyone and doing things for everyone and themselves, and it's not even working out. So it goes deeper than that. I'd love to do like a whole thing on that. But yeah, so here we are reenacting our patterns within relationship, not being true to ourselves, not giving our energy to ourselves. And at this point, if we don't surrender and we don't like pull back, not just energetically, emotionally, but pull back mentally, we're going to continue to recreate the same experiences over and over and over again. And you don't know when they're going to show up, because the way the universe works in mysterious ways. But if you know your birth chart, you can follow and you understand astrology, which is a lot more in depth than I even want to go into here. But it is a map. You can kind of gauge like, okay, here's this next cycle coming around, but you can learn about yourself too. Through these different cyclic patterns that we have. This eclipse season, wrapping up that Scorpio-Taurus axis, is really highlighting to us some strong patterns of within our relationship, Libra energy. Now, the South Node, North Node, South Node is Libra Aries. Laugh out loud, very tired. Yes, the wounded masculine is exhausted, is tired. And that's not gender, that is energy. And we all have that within us. It's like, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. We get burned out, and there's got to be a new way. All right, so got to be a new way. Three of Swords. Okay, here's some insight here, because the Princess of Swords is telling me that there has been, for many of us, and I've experienced this, I've witnessed this in others who are not even, they don't even know that they're on a spiritual path. Spiritual is just life to me. It's nature. It's our very nature. They don't realize they're on a path to awakening, but they are waking up. There's clarity. I'm seeing things now from a higher perspective, a bird's eye view, as to actually how much pain I'm in. How much pain, how much heartbreak, how much I've been carrying, and how that's affected me, and how that's affected me in my relationships. So that's big. That's really big. Where are we at? 39 minutes. Let's get some, what do we want to pull from here? I'm really loving, I want to get a couple cards from Native Spirit. I'm really loving the messages that have been in this deck. They've been really, I mean, a lot of the messages have been spot on, but these have just been, they've really touched me a lot. So let's see what else. What advice? What's the advice for us? And I do sense like November is going to be an interesting kind of wacky month, but I feel like this year, by the end of November, we're going to be kind of breaking into a whole new, it's almost going to be like considered the new year, even though like our Gregorian calendar says the new year starts January 1st, unless you're like, I mean, that's Gregorian calendar, right? Whatever. I feel like November is really like pulling at, this is death energy, death and rebirth energy. Cannot go any further. Has to end for something new to begin. This is it. This is it. This is the month. Spirit of air. Anything else? Thank you. Medicine bag. One more. Okay, two more. I love it. Okay. Spirit of water and sweat lodge. So at the bottom of the deck, we have smudging ceremony, and the smudging ceremony is that energy of cleansing, an energetic cleanse. And you know, I smudged my whole house yesterday. After having all these energies go through, I'm just like, whoa, there's so much going on. I've got to smudge. But this is really a cleanse, internal. You may even have physical ailments coming up. This is a purge and a cleanse. There's a lot of higher frequencies coming onto the planet that are affecting our physical body. It's affecting our sleep. You may have skin rashes popping up, indigestion, other weird things happening, aches and pains in certain areas. We get these from time to time. Some call them ascension symptoms. It is, we're trying to elevate our frequency that we carry in our body, and when we do that, we've got to like purge and release some of the density and the old and the toxins. So overall, that's what this is telling me, but let's see what Spirit of Air wants to say. Clarity and expansive perception of life is emerging. You're being advised to see life from a higher perspective. Clear out mental clutter. Breathe. All is well. Do not be concerned. The cobwebs are being cleared away. Communicate your truth. Take care of details. Pay attention and don't let things slip through the cracks. Take time to hear the truth of others. Spirit is whispering to you. Open your mind to see a situation in a new light. That is another experience. Another big message I've been getting just intuitively is listen. Listen. I do more listening than I do speaking, except for when I'm on here nowadays. And I'm picking up so much more. Sheer exhaustion. Yeah, that too. And I get bursts of energy then too. Like my body's like, you got to move around. So I started doing exercises again, which felt good. But then it's like a big drop in exhaustion. Yeah. The Spirit of Air represents the mental aspect of your life. It's the part that has the capacity to discern, analyze, organize, evaluate, and judge. Though seemingly subtle and unseen, air is composed of the most rarefied energy fields, and we're in constant communion with the vast universe through our breath. The spirit of air carries the energy of change and transformation, inspiration, aspiration, mental clarity, freedom, perception, communion, and communication. The element of air also allows you to see situations from a higher perspective. This card can indicate that it's time to do some major clutter clearing and organizing. Again, with smudging ceremony at the bottom, it's definitely a time. I'm picking up clutter clearing internally, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You know, whatever it is that we are putting too much energy into and we're not getting an equal exchange, it's time to take a pause and sort of hangman that one out and figure out, all right, universe, what's going on here? Let's see what Medicine Bag has to say. I know that when we finally break free from our wounds, we have a lot of them, our childhood wounds, and we learn the lesson and it's something that's integrated and understood in our life, that becomes our medicine, not just for ourself, but we do attract other people into our lives down the road that are going to be looking for our medicine, our wisdom of what we have already worked through. And I've been experiencing this for the last few years now. And it's nice because those that come to me for, say, readings or counseling sessions, it's so organic because it's like, I've already been there. I know exactly where you're at. I know exactly what you're experiencing. I know exactly how you feel. I can feel your feelings. And just like whatever advice comes out of me flows so naturally because it's your medicine. You already did it. You understand. You've been there. Medicine Bag. Profound inner and outer healing is occurring. You're a natural healer. You're on the mend and or situations are being resolved. Have faith that it's happening. You're a sacred healer. You're a medicine woman, medicine man of the soul. Your native spirit wants you to know every indigenous culture has a tradition of healers. Depending on the culture, they're called medicine men, medicine women, shamans, etc. In every tradition, they're the individuals who are able to step between worlds to gain information, wisdom, and healing energies from their spirit allies. When this card chooses you, you're at the advent of healing emotional, physical, and mental wounds. Additionally, a powerful healing force is activating within you. Another thing that has been very interesting, as many say, the veils are thin at this time. We have Samhain, Halloween, and just this time of year in general. And it is very, very true from my perspective, from my experience. It's very easy to communicate and see through a lot of things that sometimes are a little more difficult to see through and understand. But what I started experiencing was, and I already knew that I had the ability to telepathically communicate with animals, but it's beefed up a lot. Like, I don't even know how to put words to it, but like my cat just talks to me like a human being would now. And other animals like come to me, they're like, oh, she understands us. Like if I go for a walk, dogs are like running for me, like, she gets me. And like, I don't know what to do with this gift yet, but we'll figure it out. Spirit of water. So you may also be experiencing some new, we call them gifts, but they really are aspects of us that lie dormant for a long time until it's time to be activated and awakened. And it's like we have certain, our clairs get turned on and our psychic senses get turned up a lot. Spirit of water. And I don't know if anybody's commenting because the comments, it has been very weird. You're right, Paula. It's like, I don't know. I'm just going to keep reading. Spirit of water. Trust your intuition. Know that you're on the right path. Take time to nurture yourself. Allow your inner child free rein. Believe in your dreams. Don't stifle your emotions. Trust the messages they're giving you. Purify and cleanse yourself and your home. Healing is on the way. Emotional healing is expanding within you. Your native spirit wants you to know. Spirit of water invites you to an emotional richness. Once you invite an emotional richness into your life. Communicate from your heart. Embrace your childlike wonder. This card also represents purification, cleansing, and healing. It reminds you to clean your personal space and your body. It also urges you to accept and embrace your emotions, all of them, even the ones that you don't usually like. Additionally, trust your hunches. Push off from the shore of safety and enter the flow of life. All is well. So we have one last card here. And this is also a card of purification. So all of these cards are really saying that we've kind of gone through these emotional roller coasters, the high highs, the low lows, and we're really riding the waves pretty well. Knowing when to drop the burdens, release certain things, and there's a lot of clarity. Some are going through some deep, dark nights of the soul and emotional purging. All of us are going through some form of detoxification or purification in one way, shape, or form. So last card. Cleanse yourself, body, mind, and soul. Purify, clutter clear, let go of objects and relationships that no longer serve you. Purify your body, go within, meditate, talk to Creator, give thanks. Your native spirit wants you to know sweat lodges are small dome structures covered with skins, blankets, or mud in which very hot stones are placed in the center. Water is poured over the stones so that the hot steam arises from the rocks, thus sweat lodge. With its hot steam is used for purification ceremonies as well as a place to commune with the divine. This card chose you to tell you that it's time to clear out the clutter in your life. Sometimes clutter can be things in your closet that you don't love or use, but sometimes clutter can be outmoded relationships or habits that no longer serve you. The clearer your inner and outer space becomes, the easier it will be to hear the sweet messages from your soul. And ain't that the truth? That is the truth. Oh my. Not care about what's going to this people. I feeling at peace. Thank you, God. I put my faith in God. I trust divine. Amen. Gonna choose you. That's right. Yes. And it's important that we do put ourselves first. It is not a selfish act at all. It is important that we give ourselves the love, the time, the energy, the space. We understand when we are being tested with giving too much of our energy or absorbing too much of other people's energies. Having those healthy boundaries where it's not that we're going to shut people out completely, but sometimes we do have to. But we can still keep our heart open energetically with compassion and love and empathy, because everybody is going through some form of release, emotional release. Some are mental releases, some are physical releases, but it is it's been intense. It's been an intense month, and Scorpio is intense energy, but it is also meant to elevate us into the phoenix. So many of us are at the stage of the hawk or the eagle. And so we are able to see from a higher perspective, from a bird's eye view. And so we're not as affected, but still the eagle or the hawk, if you mess with their babies, they're gonna come down after you. Like, you know, there's a line there. With Scorpio energy, when you elevate from the phoenix, you're you're seeing from a whole nother perspective. So I'm not even there yet. You mess with my babies, you mess with me. You know what I mean? But so that's what I have for us all for today. I may be checking in from time to time because I'm getting a lot of messages and a lot of experiences and a lot of energy exchanges. And I like to share, and I like to hear what other people are experiencing and going through. And I appreciate all of your participation and being here for this. So thank you for joining me. And I hope that you all have a beautiful evening or day, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, thank you for joining. Hey, Nicole. Sounds like I have to go back and listen. Yeah, I'm going to post this as soon as I'm done. Sorry you missed it. I know I came on kind of early because I was afraid I was going to miss. I had so much in me to come out. So sometimes it just randomly happens that way. All right, everybody. So much love to you. Take care. Bye.